But he never managed to create such a front against Hitler, nor recruit the generals. Canaris looked for co-conspirators to prevent the next war of aggression in the West. But these warriors were following Hitler. German soldiers embarked for Norway in the spring of 1940. Canaris tried up to the last minute to prevent the attack, whilst at the same time meticulously preparing for it. What he didn't know was that the campaign had been betrayed to the Allies by his friend Hans Oster.
He would always say, "I have crossed this Rubicon, but I only have to answer to my conscience." He believed that one day he would have to answer for it, not to Hitler, but to a higher authority.
Oster hoped that Hitler would be deterred if the Allies showed strength, and he betrayed the date and the target of the attack to a Dutch friend. Some former comrades still can't accept this form of resistance.
That's sending German soldiers to their deaths. You can't do that. You can try for peace, but you can't betray plans, because the one who did it sits happily in a cozy chair, while the soldiers affected by it are the suckers.
May 1940 saw the attack on France. Once again, Oster had betrayed the date, and once again, the Allies didn't believe him. His act of desperation had no effect. Instead, unexpectedly quick success, initiated by commando troops under Canaris. The Brandenburg Division captured garrisons and bridges, letting tanks move up for the blitzkrieg. The warlord in Verdun, Canaris celebrated, as yet unaware of the treason of his friend Oster, whom he would have to hunt himself. The Secret Service was also responsible for counterintelligence against high treason, hand in hand with the propaganda warriors.
Shh! He carelessly gave official secrets to a foreign power. That alone is a punishable offense. But if it emerges that he did it deliberately, that's high treason, and there is no mercy.
Parole! Mund halten!
Shh!
So keep your mouth shut.
Shh! Mit!
But Oster's conversations had been tapped. His deed was on record. Canaris had to shield him so as not to endanger himself. His rivals from the SS also heard about it and used their knowledge to attack the Abwehr chief.
Heydrich
saw through Canaris very early on and warned Hitler over and over again. To his surprise, I'd say, and to the surprise of everyone who knew the situation, Hitler thought very highly of Canaris and actually covered for him for a very long time.
Himmler too valued and protected Canaris. He needed him as a counterweight to the ambitious Heydrich. Heydrich continued to cultivate his friendship with Canaris, meanwhile wrestling behind the scenes with his riding partner for power in the Secret Service. Canaris sensed that in the end he'd come off second best. He missed meetings at work more and more frequently. He was wavering between injustice and morality, and weary of office, hemmed in on all sides.
I think Canaris suffered terribly through the war years. That's why he travelled and was so restless. He was unable to find peace, and suddenly he was away for a whole week. Then he suddenly came back. He was very erratic.
From Poland, Canaris' agents reported that ghettos were being set up, the first step to genocide. Canaris had them gather evidence. His confidant, Hans von Dohnanyi, assembled the incriminating documents. They wanted to use them to put Hitler on trial after a coup. Ultimately, this collection was the conspirators' undoing. The Protestant Canaris fled to the semi-darkness of the Catholic Church, balm for the nerves.
He suffered from severe depression, and you could see it on his face. His eyes were veiled, and he looked very sad.
A trip to Spain was a distraction. Incognito, he was sent by Hitler to persuade Franco to seize Gibraltar with the help of the Wehrmacht.
With the big superguns, the mortars we'd seen at Sevastopol, it would have been easy. Bloody, but successful.
The naval base was the key to controlling the Mediterranean, but Hitler's messenger had no intention of following his orders and advised Franco to stay well clear. So Franco refused, politely, thus ensuring his own power for decades to come. June the 9th, 1941. The funeral of former Kaiser Wilhelm II, in exile in Holland. Canaris was there to mourn the Germany he knew. Hitler's Germany was approaching its own downfall. The attack on Russia began 2 weeks later. Canaris warned against it. He knew there'd be more and more bombers over German cities, and that Germany couldn't keep up its supply of armaments. But the warlord regarded his Secret Service chief's predictions as pessimism.
Well, it must have been desperate. You work hard, you find out good information, and your superiors disregard it. You must go mad.
June the 22nd, 1941. The Wehrmacht attacked the Soviet Union. This tank driver's footage showed that this was a war of annihilation. In winter, the attack bogged down. Losses were mounting on the German side as well now. Canaris had been right. Nevertheless, he was the whipping boy. Hitler dismissed him, but the admiral wanted to keep on. He came to headquarters to ask his master to reinstate him, and was successful.
Canaris was able to talk to him. He knew how to treat Hitler. And Hitler was very polite, as he sometimes could be. He was kindly and praised the Abwehr's work.